Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, somewhere around the world. Welcome, everyone, to Coaching Creole International Platform. My name is Stanisława Pawłowa. I'm the founder and host of Coaching Creole. Tonight is some different and some special evening. Tonight, we're gonna open the door for our lovely networking, and we're jumping in the podcast iTunes. So make sure you will follow us everywhere around the social media and as well in iTunes. Tonight, my special guest is one really powerful woman. Her name is Carole McDougall. She is inspiration, how you can invest in your life, in your first property. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to speak a lot because I want to show her smile. I want to show her energy, her powerful attention here. And let's say how we can invest in our first, second, third, 10, maybe next property in our life. And where is the passion? How is the connection? Where is the drive? I want to welcome my special guests and just a second to say welcome and hello.
Hi.
Hello, Carole. How are you, dear?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm very well.
It's my pleasure to be part of Coaching Creole Networking. How I say in the beginning, you are a really powerful woman and you will share with most of us your experience about how to invest in property. And you are passive income coach and trainer. That's right.
That's right.
Okay. Let's start with the first question to you. How start everything when you invest in your first property?
When did I invest in my first property? It was my home in 1985. I invested in my property then, and I was 21 years old, and I was so excited, and it was just the best experience of, well, one of the best experiences of my life, having a property, having my own home at that age, and along with my husband. It wasn't just me, it was my husband and I. And I was 21 and he was, I think, 28. So.
Wow, that is a long time ago. Carole, 20, how many years you say, 18 or 20 years ago?
Yeah, I bought my first home 35 years ago, but I started to invest 20 years ago, or nearly 20 years ago, and that it's just all part of my story. So will I just start with my story now, or do you have any more questions, or will I start with what?
Yes, of course, yeah. Of course, go.
Okay, so I'll start with a question actually that was presented to me, and it is, if your main income stream were to stop now for whatever reason, where would you be with your savings? And this question actually made me seriously think about our future and how unprepared we were for any kind of negative change in our circumstances. And I realised we needed to take action and start to put things in place that would give us more security in our future. So before I go any further, I'll introduce myself properly. And so my name is Carole McDougall, and I am a property investor and trainer. And I am a professional network marketer in the health and wellness industry as well. But I haven't always done that. I've been married to my husband, Scott, for more than 35 years and have 2 grown-up children. And we live in beautiful St Andrews in Scotland, which is commonly known as the home of golf. But I haven't always lived here. I lived in Glasgow up until 2 years ago, and that's where I was born and brought up in Glasgow. You can probably tell from my accent.
Yeah.
So 10 years ago, around 10 years ago, I was a paid employee and I worked for a chartered surveyors, and my husband worked offshore with an oil and gas company, and we were comfortable and very reasonably well off and had a great life. And I soon realised that my job was not safe and redundancy was on the cards. And when a friend approached me with a business opportunity in network marketing, she asked me that question that I started off with at the beginning. If your main income stream were to stop now for whatever reason, where would you be with your savings? And my husband was at the time our main income earner. So with me being made redundant from my job that I'd been in for many, many years, and it really made me think about where would we be with our savings. And I thought to myself, well, what savings? And it was because, really, because we spent everything that we earned, and probably everybody on here will be able to relate to that. And so we would spend what we earned on, enjoying ourselves, going on holidays, buying cars and doing up our house. And we really, at the end of the month, we had more month than what we had money, if you like. So I'll go back to when I first bought my first property, which I'd mentioned. My husband and I bought our first home in 1985, and I was 21 years old. And it was a fabulous house. I loved my home, and we lived there up until 2 years ago. And I remember feeling so excited about being so young and owning my own house.
Yeah.
But at that time, the interest rates on our mortgage was 16%, which in this day and age, in the UK anyway, is just ridiculous. It was just ridiculously high. And almost 20 years ago, I decided to buy our first investment property. Mm-hmm. And over the years, I had witnessed how much property had increased and the interest rates had dropped. So I thought it was a great idea to invest in property. Mm. And so how did I do that? We actually cashed in our endowment policy, which was taken out in 1985. Now, this endowment policy was to pay off my mortgage at the end of, I think it was 30 years or 40 years, because at that time I had an interest-only mortgage. So I had to have something to pay it off. But what I decided to do was pay off my mortgage early and used what was left of that lump sum to buy 3 investment properties, and I bought them in 2004, 2005 and 2006.
Yes.
And I remember that buzz, you see that buzz, that feeling again, and that I got from buying properties. But when I look back, I was quite foolish, to be honest, as I had no real education in property other than buying a home. So I bought with emotion instead of with logic. I bought from the heart, and I paid way over market value for all 3 properties. Mm. And then guess what happened? In 2008, we had the famous property crash, and property values dropped instantly overnight. And basically the 3 properties that I had bought at top market were just not worth as much as I thought that they were going to be worth. But I was renting these properties out. So it wasn't me that was paying the mortgage. It was the people that were renting the property that was paying the mortgage. And so that cleared that, and it gave me a wee bit left over. And I still have those 3 properties to this day. And over time, they've actually worked out to have been a really good buy. So over time, if you give it enough time, the property will come back. And then I got the feeling of like I wanted another buzz. So in 2012, I decided to buy another property, but I didn't have the money because it was all tied up in our family home, which I'd paid off the mortgage previously. So I decided to remortgage that house and buy another one using the cash. And this was going to be, it was like going to be our holiday home. And again, I got that same buzz, that same feeling again. But this time I was just a wee bit smarter. I didn't pay over market value. I paid a decent amount for the property. Now let's go back to that question again, about what if your main income stream were to stop. It just kept niggling. It was always at the back of my head. And so I decided that I wanted to go more professional into property. And I decided to pay for a course and learn how to get involved in property on a much bigger scale. So I invested heavily in my education and I loved every minute of it. I met loads of people who were just like me and wanted to make a difference in not only in their life and have security for the future. And my biggest advice, for the audience here, anyone listening, is to get educated in property and learn from those who have done what you want to do.
You're gonna teach us, everyone who is part of Coaching Creole. So guys, I want to ask one question to everyone who is watching right now or who will join us in a replay. When you buy your first property, I will say front of you, I don't have my personal first property, but I'm sure you will be my coach and then we will make that a good offer. So someone else just dropped the comment, Facebook user, maybe it's from the Coaching Creole group, from Coaching Creole London. Nice to see you, Carole. I love your story. Is someone else, we will check a little bit later who is there and say thank you. Carole, can you imagine now, for example, I'm your client and coming next to you and say, okay, what will be your most important first step to give me like advice, what I can do? For example, do I need to have 50% of the property or maybe 10%? I don't know.
No.
Absolutely, I don't know at all about the property business. So can you give me just one advice about this?
Yes, well, if you're buying for an investment, ideally you would want 25% of the deposit of the value. So if a property is worth 100,000, you'd want £25,000. But if you don't have that, there's other ways of acquiring that money, either going with an angel investor or pulling out money from other places. So I would sit down and discuss that with my client, and I will explain how I got the money, what I did when I was investing in my properties, and how I learned to make more money. There's so many different strategies. There really is. But the first thing I would say is there's no better investment than in yourself, first of all, because you want to learn from people who have made the mistakes or who have learned how to do it professionally. And some people don't really want to pay for their education, but in my experience, it actually saved me money in the long run. And I now have a property portfolio which has served us really, really well. And I've learned how to be creative and have a passive and recurring income. And that is what people are looking for. They're looking for that. So what happened was, during my education, I learned about being creative with finance, I learned about distressed properties. That's ones that you would maybe want to buy and then do them up. I learned about flips. I learned about angel investing, and that is a really good way of maybe acquiring the money to put into your investment. I learned about serviced accommodation, which is huge just now, and also Airbnb. And I learned about how to have multiple income streams. And I was buzzing again after that course, because what actually happened, Stanislava, was that I needed to make this work, because firstly, to get my money back, which I had invested in my education, but also to secure our future. And but during the course about creative finances, it was quite funny, because I'm going to give you a wee story. I decided I needed to get my hands on my husband's pension.
Yeah.
Now, he wasn't happy about that at all. And,
yeah, absolutely.
It really wasn't. And he was, we were kind of brought up in our day and age, we were brought up to pay off our mortgage, to save for the future, to have a good pension, and to work for 40 years and retire. And what I learned was that none of these things would give us security. And so what I did was, I needed to get his mindset in the right position, in the right place, and he wasn't listening to me. So I asked my husband to come with me to a seminar. It was a free seminar, and it was with T. Harv Eker, and he wrote a book called Secrets of the Millionaire Mindset.
Yeah.
Now, reluctantly, he came, and he hated every single minute of it. But by the end of the weekend, I got the result I was wanting. So Scott, my husband, agreed for me to use his pension and pull out 25% tax-free to invest in property. And then what we also did was we mortgaged our holiday home, and I went shopping. And I went shopping for property. And I actually, I had a mentor at the time in property. Through the property course that I did, I had a mentor, and we went out, and within 3 days, I put offers on property, and six properties, and I completed in all six within 1 week. Well, it took a couple of weeks, but all within 1 week. And oh my goodness, I was buzzing again. I really was. And, but
wow,
so many people are asking me just now, is now a good time to actually invest in property, and why? And well, I say yes. I don't think you can go wrong in property. Property investing, like any business, it goes up and down in cycles. But it's just like any other business, but properties always recover, in my experience, because I've been there. But you have to be smart when you purchase and look at the end game and make sure you do your sums and the figures stack up, basically.
Yeah. Carole, Anna joining us, Christine is here. I just want to, the next question who is coming up in my mind is, do you think it's the right moment now to invest? I remember I was write the question in the group. If you remember, many people, they answer 21, 24, 18, yeah. Someone else just shared with us. I was so surprised. And I said, what? I'm 35. I don't have yet. But do you think it's the right moment to invest now in property?
Yeah, I do. The property, even although just now in property, the prices are at an all-time high, and no one can really predict the future of what will happen. We don't know, will the market stay the same? Will it crash? Will it continue to rise? No one knows. But I know that properties will recover if you give it a long enough time. So if you're going to buy it top of the market and you want to sell it within 6 months, you probably might not get your money back.
How many properties you have right now?
I've got 14 that are all making money for me at the moment. I don't plan to buy any more, me personally, at the moment, because I want to do other things. I've got so many other things that I'm doing within the property world with coaching. But I've got 14 that are all making money for me, and I've got a healthy income with that, because I've got different styles of income, but also I've got buy-to-lets, I've got Airbnb, and I also am an angel investor. So there's so many different ways of making money within the property if you do different strategies. So you can. But nobody really knows what's going to happen. But I honestly don't think that there is a bad time. And I honestly believe that having a positive mindset is another huge factor, and probably the most important one, because limiting beliefs prevent us from achieving. So it's really important to work on that growth mindset. And believe me, I have worked on my mindset for years. And when I first started in self-employment, only 10 years ago, really, I bought my first investment property in 2004, but it was a bit of a kind of hobby. But only in the last 10 years, but I needed this mindset, I really did. And what I had, though, was a desire to have more than what I already had. And I knew that I had to work on. And a really good book, actually, for anyone that wants to read, which I would say has changed my life, is Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And I highly recommend it. There's lots and lots of books, but that's one that has really, really stuck with me over the years. And I have gone back to it. I love the cash flow quadrant. You don't want to be in the left-hand side, you want to be in the right-hand side. And the quadrant. And I'm quite a visual person. So that was good.
The cash flow is really important, right?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, if you don't have that book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, make sure you have, or you can listen on YouTube as well. I think I found it once, if I'm not wrong. Carole, how you can help the people who wants to join your program? And Anna just remind me here about the accreditation program coming out very soon. How you can help the people?
Oh, I'm super excited about that. We're doing a certification and we're doing an accreditation program, and I'm really, really excited. So if you want to learn about property, it's a 6-month program, and I will teach you how to buy your first property. And every month we've got modules going forward, and at the end of it you will be certified as a property trainer as well. And that is something that I just want to use my knowledge. I've got so much knowledge, and I've done it. I'm the person that has actually, worn the t-shirt and got the video of it. So I've got so much knowledge and so much that I can help other people and to prepare for their future, because Stanislava, nobody knows what the future is going to hold. And absolutely. I want to go back to that question again that I was asked about your main income stream stopping, because that was something I kept going back to. And then what actually did happen was that my husband got made redundant and lost his job 6 months after I started the property course. And I couldn't believe it. And at the same time, I was so grateful that I had dug that well before it was needed. We had prepared for impact, and we were just prepared. So there's so many people that I can help that are not prepared. They're just not. They just don't know what's going to happen. And who would have thought this past year with the pandemic that would have come? And I think I now know that I'm so passionate about showing others that having one income stream and depending on a boss is not security. And I'm not saying to anyone to give up their job, because you might love it, but have something else that you can fall back on. And we have to make our own security and never leave it in the hands of others. And basically, that is why I have decided to make this course and have it certified and accredited, because, as I said, there's so many people who have or will be in the same position, who want to make a change in their life and who want security but don't know where to start. And as I say, I've got the experience, and so if just for the people that, you know, are watching this, and especially for you, I have a 15-minute free consultation. So please contact me and I can help you prepare for your future. And
Perfect.
Yeah,
I will do that. Definitely. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I must say the diploma is will be amazing. Carole, I would say I can't wait to share with us more about your experience, your journey, because this is a long, long journey. And sometimes, how you say, it's not about to get professional in the beginning, but it's important to teach yourself and to teach another people from your journey, from what you've done all that time, so many years.
Exactly. And, you know, there's no such thing as being perfect. There's none.
Yes.
You know, and so many people look to be perfect, but there's no perfect. You know,
No.
we're all different. We're all unique, and yeah. So I can show people how that they can.
I will wait for your live streaming, and I will be with my notes, and I will make the notes, and I will make the questions, because how you say, why not to change our life in just a few months and to have support from the right person like you. So guys, how I say in the beginning, if you want to share with us when you invest in your first property, or if you have any questions, just drop your comments below, and we will come back to you soon. Follow Coaching Creole, and you will get there with more information about the future live streaming with our lovely Carole McDougall. And I want to say thank you so much. Do you want to wish something to everyone who will watch, who will listen that podcast and broadcast?
Yeah, I look forward to meeting as many people as possible and help you on your journey.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Carole. Have a lovely evening to everyone, afternoon or morning, whenever you are, guys, and see you soon. Bye.
Bye.